Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is yeah. Good morning. This is my last session with you. I'll try to wrap it up.
No, sir.
Good morning. Yeah. So we are okay.
आता ढक्को लगाओ नया
Now please mute yourselves because I am not the host.
अरे
Excuse me. Hello. Please. Mr. Lingaya, Galaxy J2. Please mute yourselves. Right. Thank you. Well, now, this is the last poem of Robert Frost, A Road Not Taken. It is a symbolic poem. It can be read in a number of ways, but generally, it is read as a poem about choice, a poem about decisions that we make. And also the human propensity. Propensity means the tendency, the human tendency to construct fictions to justify choices made in clouded circumstances. Circumstances, not circumstances or circumstances, okay? It's circumstance. See, there are many words which we can pronounce properly, but most of the time what we do is we see others pronouncing them and then follow it. Like we say charisma. We can simply say charisma, right? Charisma, ka sound is there in our languages, so why not use it? So, but most of the time people say charisma or charishma, okay? Or opportunity, okay? It's opportunity, not opportunity, okay? So, correct yourselves. We all need to correct ourselves when we speak. And, well, to justify choices made in clouded circumstances. Meaning, this is a poem about the narrator, sorry, the speaker. Now, the poem always has a speaker. The speaker need not be the poet, the persona, it is called, the fictional character that the poet creates to, say certain things. That is called persona. And that's not necessarily the poet. So here the speaker is justifying the choices that he has made. And the comment here is that we all do that. We all try to, rationalize our decisions, okay, our choices. And these lines have echoes of earlier writers in Western cultural memory. Dante, the great medieval poet of Divine Comedy. So Dante's pilgrimage, because Dante also undertakes a journey. I told you, I think when I was discussing Pilgrim's Progress in the earlier classes, I referred to Dante's dream, where he is taken by Virgil, the Roman poet. And so that is a journey. And pilgrimage, life as a journey, right? Life as a journey. We have seen it in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. And Thoreau's essay, Walking. Now, these are the things that you need to keep in mind or refer to when you are writing your answers. Nature as guide. So walking, is a very important event in our lives. Most of the times people walk, and walk is literal and also it's very symbolic. What path or what road you take. Now, those of you who are familiar with the Christian understanding, okay, you would also remember, because Pilgrim's Progress also talks about the road one takes. There is a narrow path, there is a wide path, right? Yes or no? The narrow path.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the narrow path is difficult, not very attractive, but whereas a wide path is very attractive, it's easy to travel. That's the way of the world. That is a road that takes you down to destruction. So you can bring in a lot of things in understanding this poem. What does this road signify? What does the road stand for? Now, so it's about a choice, and sometimes it's not easy to make a choice, right? It's not easy to take a decision. So it's about that. Now, after all, the title could refer to the road not taken by most individuals as well as the speaker's regrets for the road he, after all, did not take. Now, the point is, the poem is about the decision making, the difficulty of making the choice, and also a regret. What is a regret? To feel bad that you could not do it. Now, the regret is that he took the other road, and that has made all the difference. So it's a ambiguous kind of an ending to the poem, wherein the decision of taking a particular road, was it a wise decision? Did the author, or sorry, did the speaker make a correct decision? Or does he have regrets about not taking the other road? So taking one road and not taking another road, meaning things that we did in our lives and things which we could not do. And maybe when you take stock of things in a retrospect, maybe all of us stand where the speaker in this particular poem stands. That's why it's a very universal kind of poem. Now, yeah. Now, the final lines of the poem are often quoted, okay? Without recognition of the temporal relation to the rest of the poem, from an imagined future, looking back into the past and not the present. Now, there are, what kind of time is recorded in this poem? Obviously, it is sometime in the future and looking at the past and not necessarily the present, because sometime, somewhere in the future, I will be thinking about the decisions and choices that I made long time ago. And it evokes older mythologies of heroic figures at moments of terrible decision, like Oedipus at the crossroad, Dante entering an obscure wood or dark forest before entering hell. So difficult times to choose which way to go, this way or that way. Now, Oedipus in the Greek mythology and in the play written by Sophocles, Oedipus, when he is, coming to Thebes, where to go, and his choice of, the path that he needs to take has consequences. See, dear friends, all our work has consequences. If anybody thinks that our actions do not have some consequences, then we are living in a fool's paradise. People think that, well, what happens if I do this? Nothing, nobody notices and it will not affect anybody. But everything that we do is connected. So what goes around comes around. What you do, you sow as you reap, as the good book says. You sow as you reap. If you sow beans, if you sow tomato seeds, if you sow any particular seed, grapes, you will not get khajur, you will not get brinjals, right? You will get what you have sown. Meaning, now you could read all these possible meanings. Now just let me read out from the Inferno from Canto 1 of Dante's Divine Comedy, where he talks about a road. Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straightforward pathway had been lost. Ah me, how hard a thing it is to say, what was this forest savage, rough and stern, which in the very thought renews the fear. Now you can find a lot of similarities between Frost's Road Not Taken and Dante's predicament of, I found myself within a forest dark, midway upon the journey of our life. So, journey of our life. All our life is a series of what we do. A series of, you can't blame others for what your life. You have to blame only yourself. We have to blame ourselves for what is happening to us, because those are the choices and decisions that we have taken. Am I making it clear? Right? Are you able to understand the point that I'm trying to drive home?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Now, in attempting to make a decision his choice, the speaker finds a little difference and a very little in the way of originality. Both had been born well before him. Meaning, this is not a new road that he is taking. Others have gone that way. So there is nothing original that he is doing. He possesses really little in the way of a priori judgment or knowledge. Now, the penultimate stanza expresses the regret that haunts the whole poem, particularly the title, for what might have been, and the way each change irrevocably alters the traveler and what came before. Well, now see, what might have been, what could have been, meaning, I should have done this, I should have done that. Don't we always do that? Okay. Most of the time, people say that I should not have done this or I should not have done that. Now, the ultimate stanza may cause a reader to wonder, why a sigh? Where would one be ages and ages hence? The stanza begins with the speaker stating that he shall be telling this. It is a projection, not a certainty in the present. Now, it's very cleverly written poem, because it's not that the speaker is talking about his present condition. He says, I shall be telling this, meaning future. Sometime in the future, I will be telling about this, about the decision that I have taken. Okay. Now, let me quickly, just a second. You have the poem with you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. I'll share a screen with you. Just a second. Okay. Give me a second. Can you have that patience, please? Just a second now. Can you see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The road not taken, right?
Yes, sir.
Just tell me, this is a poem. This is a road not taken poem read by Robert Frost himself. Okay. The voice that you're hearing is that of Robert Frost. And please just, I want to have a feel of the poem. Right. Just tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
No, sir, we can't.
No, sir.
You can't hear the poem?
No, sir, we can't hear the audio.
Can anyone tell me how to do that? I mean, how do you share a screen with audio in it?
Sir, it's actually that
Yeah,
when
go
you're
ahead.
trying to share the poem, sir, beneath the option, you'll actually find an thing called share with audio. So if you could just stop the video right now
Okay,
and
okay.
stop sharing it.
Okay, I'll stop sharing it right now, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then what do I do now? Now I'll.
Share screen, sir. You need
Okay.
to click on share screen.
Share screen.
And then
Okay, yeah, and share sound, right?
yes, sir, with
Yes,
sound,
sir.
with audio.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for letting me know. Thanks a lot. I didn't know that. Just a second. Yeah.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood.
Can you hear it now?
Yes, sir. We can hear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Right. Thanks, Perlin and others for telling me that. I didn't know. Right.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Yeah. So that was Robert Frost reading his own poem. Actually, he read most of his poems. They are available on Decca Records. Now, those records are not available now, but you can listen to them on YouTube. Some kind soul always puts these things. Of course, they have added some motivational thing and music also behind. But you can see the other one, The Death of a Hired Man, also is available. It's on Decca Records. You can just. I thought of showing it to you, but then I thought, well, I'll have to move on. We have other things to complete. Is that okay with you now, Robert Frost? Have we done Robert Frost? You will be able to talk about Robert Frost in your examinations, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Yeah. And just a second. Yeah. And thanks for, letting me know this, because I didn't know actually. Right. Okay.